Ahoy hoy. We're going to now talk about the Street Fighter V patch. So there is a PC beta that's available for free. If you'd like to check it out, you can help them test their netcode. I think that's really what it's about. But all the characters are available in there as well. And with that, there is the new patch changes that will be public, I think, end of April, if I recall correctly. So it's still another month for that. But you can get a preview by playing this beta.
That's right. Yeah. And this is the one that has all the crazy, weird things like Zangief's parry move, kick parry move, Cammy's air throw, etc., etc. So this has a few extra things in there. So
now we've not been able to play this because we were doing the ESL, but
some of us don't own Street Fighter V on the PC.
No, again, you can just download it for free.
Yeah, I know. I should.
What a butt! Can you believe this game?
I don't own it. I don't own that. I don't own Guilty Gear on PC.
What? Why? You just support it.
I know. I want to. I want to. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so we went over the changes last week, but since we have seen some footage of some of the new stuff, I just thought it would be interesting to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw footage of Zangief's
parry.
Tundra
Storm.
The counter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like what happens is that he kind of puts his hands out like this, and while he's doing the jazz hands, if you connect with a mid-hitting kick.
Yeah, and it almost feels like it has to be a straightish kick.
Yes. Cammy stand medium kick we saw activated.
Mm-hmm.
I've also heard that Dalsum stand roundhouse activates it from maximum range.
Right. But not his standing medium kick.
Right, which of course is angled a little bit lower. Mm-hmm. Not a low attack, but it's angled more towards the ground. So, interesting, I guess. It does a ton of damage. I heard that you can't quick get up after it. I heard it's a hard knockdown.
Dude, so
again, I am very much in I heard land.
Look,
I haven't been able to confirm.
The video that we saw was Cammy mashing stand medium kick and the Zangief trying to counter it. So one thing is it's counter hit on both recovery and on startup, so that's good. So if he whiffs it, you can crush counter him or something. So it's going to be a high risk move, right? But secondly, he did 2 to Cammy, and Cammy lost almost 50% of her life.
Yo, it was a good.
So it has to
250.
be 250 or like 225 or something like that. 220 maybe.
Like EX Running Bear is 230 right now.
Right.
It was around there.
Dude,
right.
It was ridiculous damage.
For no meter. This is no meter.
It was ridiculous.
I asked, and apparently there's also multiple button strengths of it, but not sure exactly what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Might be speed. Not really sure. They seem to do the same damage, and there's no EX version. But yeah, when...
Oh, dang. So it works on some air move things? Someone said Geef's counter works on Tatsu's.
Yeah?
That'd be really weird. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But dude, that's gonna be so good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a scary thing to have to deal with.
I guess I think it's not that big of a deal because already, like, if Geef calls out some mid-hitting kick, like, you just do V-skill into command grab. You already do that.
I guess that's true.
So I think that's... And V-skill, of course, you're not risking the crush, right, on startup and whatnot. That said, not having to worry about range of SPD is cool because it just activates. Catching Dalsum from 2/3 screen sounds like it's cute, but not that often that Dalsum presses stand roundhouse in that matchup. Mm-hmm. It's more stand medium kick. So I'm not sure how great it is. Mm-hmm. It's cool, I suppose. Rather have options than not have options, but I don't know. It seems like it's minimally useful, I guess.
Yeah, and then
without having played it.
The other 2 new moves that were added to that were the to Zangief for the headbutt, which looked weird. Like, I'm not sure if all these things are complete. Like, there was something about the headbutt that looked kind of janky, but apparently it does 400 stun.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
That's a lot of stun.
That is a bunch of stun. So already Hameko put out a video of him with a 100% stun Zangief combo. It's not going to come up super often. You have to already be in V-trigger. You have to find a counter hit. So those 2 in tandem, you're not going to land that very often. But
I mean, he did it against a Ken blocked EX uppercut.
Yeah.
So there's a guaranteed stun off of that.
Right, and keep in mind, Ken's up in the air.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but he has to make sure that he had the trigger activated. It was block, neutral jump, comes down, perfect time, pow, into like whatever, roundhouse, and the suction into air EX SPD, and they were stunned.
Yeah, so I think that's probably not going to come up very often. But Infilament on Twitter pointed out that it's probably viable that Geef will regularly land, 600 to 800 stun combos and whatnot.
Right.
Right? Like, even if you don't have V-Trigger already ready to go, you block Dragon Punches sometimes. I mean, and you should be able to get neutral headbutts after those without V-Trigger already set up. So, it certainly he's going to get a lot of stun.
I want to know what the range on it is, the horizontal range on it. Because if the horizontal range on it is decent, I bet you Zangief would have really wanted that jump throw OS tech to stay. Because he can walk up to them and be like, come on, get up, they jump back and then pow!
Interesting.
Yeah, but if it doesn't have much horizontal range and that doesn't work, then it won't be very good. So.
Well, it's nice. I mean, he already has a way to deal with people who are neutral jumping against him. If he has super, obviously nobody wants to stand next to him as he's waking up, right? He'll neutral jump, oh, I'm so cute. And so Geef does any of like Lariat, stand jab, EX, air, command grab. You already have tools, but it's nice to have neutral headbutt in that situation for stun as well. So yeah, I do see that there will be some utility in that move. I think that's cool. And then Geef has also the new against crouchers, normal grab.
And to be honest with you, from the animation that we saw, the Thunderstorm also, you mentioned that it can't be quick
Correct,
res, right?
and people confirmed in chat, hard knockdown.
So that new throw, I want to see how it looks against quick risers, but it looks like if he gets that throw, he can still apply pressure afterwards.
It does look that way.
For sure, it looks like you're in SPD range.
It definitely looks that way.
Afterwards. So if that's the case, that might be better than the current throw that he has. So that might be a pretty decent buff. Because regular throw for Zangief is super important.
Oh, yeah,
very, very important.
Yeah, it seems to me like they would only put that in the game to give him a better setup. Right? Don't you think it'd be weird if they bothered giving him the new animation without thinking that there's some strategic value in it? I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much about this. But theoretically, I feel like that should be true. I don't know. But I guess I expected it to be like the Mika kind of situation.
Right.
Maybe not that much advantage, but at least some amount. And that'd be great for Geef. So Geef got those things. Definitely he's improved. I don't know how tremendously, but a bit, which is cool. Then we also saw new stuff for Cammy. With her fantastic animation in that air grab. Oof. It just really gets my spine tingling.
It makes me think of Colossus when he in MVC2, because they cut out all the animation frames when he grabs you and spins you. So it's literally like back and forth, right? Yeah. That's kind of what it looked like. Now, someone in the chat mentioned that apparently CPT Damon confirmed that the animation wasn't complete yet, but...
That's good to hear.
Yeah, but we were also told that the chain clipping on Birdie's intro would be fixed. So...
That was in 2015.
So,
Fair enough. I certainly hope it looks nicer. But it side switches.
Yes.
I think that's actually good. If you're going to give Cammy an air grab, at least get the side switch. Because I feel like one of the major tools that you would use it for is like you have corner control and you see somebody's trying to like up back escape and you're like, nuh-uh, air grab, you're in your corner and you still have control. This way you would lose the corner in that situation. So I think that's good at least. I feel like she probably shouldn't have the tool, but if you're going to give her the tool...
The crazy thing to me is that it looks like she actually can get some Oki off of it.
It does seem that way, yeah.
And if she can't, like say if you can't back roll, you can only quick rise, and if she has a guaranteed frame kill setup into a meaty button, I think it's actually going to be really good.
I'm with you.
Because like I think it would have been fair if it was like air throw, they land, and then she rolls backwards, and you both get up at the same time, like a screen away or something like that. But if it actually gives her Oki, that might be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that might be actually pretty good.
Again, I don't think it was necessary at all.
Right.
I don't know anybody who does, except for the folks at Capcom.
Now, the other thing about this patch here is that it's supposed to test the new netcode.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that part yet, and it's on a separate network than everything else. So it's not going to have that kind of like everybody jumping on it like the current CFN is. But if they have all these fixes like to the rage quit system, they want to put icons next to people who rage quit all the time.
Yeah.
They want to make it so you don't get matched up with the same person again. Let me tell you something. I just streamed like 2 weeks ago, not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. So basically a week before, I ran into Jeremy Vicious.
Oh yeah.
Like 7 times in an hour.
Oh.
Like,
gnarly.
It just would not stop pairing us together, and he was Cammy and I was Cammy, and you know how I feel about that matchup.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a shitty matchup.
Yeah.
And then
he was like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, and then yesterday when I played, I ran to the same Macaulay 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Although that helped me because he was really good. And
yeah.
so
No, I've certainly been in the same situation of getting multiple rematches. I'm sure everybody has. So hopefully there are improvements to it. If you recall, before the game came out, in the beta before release, netcode it felt better.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, as you say, that was without the, everybody being able to play. It's always like that. I remember playing Injustice 1 before it was launched. There was a beta, and I played online, and I was reasonably happy with it. It was not fantastic, but reasonably happy with it. And then, of course, once the final game launched, it was a pile of butts. So,
so some people are saying the netcode isn't changed. It's just the CFN that's changed.
Oh, I read that even that there was a tweet from Capcom saying something like that they are making server changes.
Oh, really?
I think that happened today. I think I read that today.
Okay. Not sure then. Okay.
Anyway, obviously it'd be great if they did improve that side.
But I mean, look, the fact that they're doing some of these fixes like that is good news. Because it shows that they're improving stuff. Fundamental stuff. And if that's the case, then we can hope that other things get rolled out little by little too. You know what I mean? Like maybe Next comes with the new netcode fix, and some people are saying about new servers for the next patch. So there you go. So maybe the hardware just wasn't very good or something like that. So they're upgrading to more beefy machines or something like that.
In their post explaining the patch, they said they have a team on it now.
More than one person.
I think that's the implication. That's what I took out of it.
They're going all out for this, dude.
Really, though, like, to me, I don't know if that was the intention, but what I took away from that was, more than one person. Mm-hmm. High times.
I mean, look, the thing about it, like, a lot of people are joking that they sold us a beta, whatever, blah, 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 and they're mad about it. That's what all the we mentioned this before. Every other game had arcade releases. And those were always the beta, because there was no features on those. There was no net play on all those things.
That's true, and that's always when the wild characters are in there. They always get changed. In
that's
the
where all
releases.
the sussing out usually happens.
True.
And then when it comes out in the home version, they could take their time and do it. Street Fighter V didn't have that benefit. That is one of the negatives of having it. Having said that, Tekken 7 had better be the best goddamn home version that we've ever played in our entire lives.
Yes.
So, Anyways.
Yeah. So anyway, I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I'm interested to see how some of the changes play out in practice. Balrog having 25 less life, Akuma having 25 more, things like that. The changes were not in general very drastic, but I did hear some things about Fang that I thought were pretty cool. That you can now link crouching medium kick into standing medium kick. That you can now link coward crouch into kicky kicks. I never remember what that name is called. Into stand fierce on counter hit.
Oh, dang.
That's actually real.
So wait, does kicky kicks do counter hit both hits, kind of like crouch heavy kick?
All those double hitters do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome, right? Like, that's, I think, important, I don't know how great that makes Fang, but it's certainly a buff. And he definitely has tricky mix-ups. It's just that they typically don't do much damage, so you got to do it a bunch of times over and over. But if you don't have to do that so many times, then certainly there's extra strength in that character, which is cool.
And then Diminion mentioned, we were talking to him today at ESL, he mentioned that just based off of the frame data, he was crunching numbers and stuff like that. He said he's actually excited for the character. He actually feels like he's going to be really viable in the next patch.
Yeah, crouching medium kick counter hit links into stand fierce.
Yeah.
And crouching medium kick you're fishing with a lot. It's just that when you found counter hits before, you do crouching strong.
Right.
Into rush. But now if you can get fierce instead, great. That's definitely more damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, definitely cool. So that's probably it that I can say about the patch, having not actually played it yet.
Right.
But folks did want us to bring up our top 10 lists in Street Fighter V Season 2. Season 2, not 2.1.
Right.
Because we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, and again, remember, all these lists our list last year at around this time was wrong. But this is just our current impressions.
Always, right. Like, when you come up, at least my view, when I'm coming up with a top 10 list, a tier list, it's part what I think is the case now and what can be. Like, there's some mix of it in there, and I'm never quite sure which one to land on more, but there's definitely the mix of the two. So sometimes I'll say wild things, like, Hakan isn't the worst character in the game, and there's, like, no factual evidence of that.
Right.
Because nobody played him. But I still think that's true. Like, things like that. You know what I mean? So there's a mix in there, and then people disagree. It's fine. Anyway, who do you have?
So my top 5 is ordered, right? So my top 5 is ordered, probably in odd order that people would probably be surprised at. But I think number 1 currently is Cammy. I think number 2 is Urien. I think number 3 is Balrog. I think number 4 is Laura. And I think number 5 is Guile. That's my top 5.
Laura at 4th, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think she's super good, and it's funny because, I mean, obviously anyone from NLBC would say this, but Daimini is just like, he's just like, Laura's so busted. And you know what? Idom says that too. Idom has actually been quoted to say that Laura's pretty broken when they interviewed him, so.
Do you want to just do your top 10 then? You want to just finish out? Or?
Oh, go ahead and keep going, and I'll order my other 5. Let's see here.
So, my top 5, I wrote a tweet on this recently that I think I'm going to edit on the fly right now, but my top 5, also in order if I had to do that. Number 1, Cammy. Agreed.
Yes.
She is great. I think Guile's the second best.
Right, okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I just really like his control. I think that's really, really good. I think I have Urien third still. Urien, I feel like, is just one of those leaky boat type characters where even if people start to figure things out, you never feel secure. You always find something new, some new water to pour out of the boat, right? There's a leak and you're constantly trying to get the bucket and get the water out of the boat. And you're constantly trying to find things. And I figured out that it turns out that I can block this mirror setup. Cool. There's a new setup, and now you gotta get more water out of the boat. Oh, it turns out that I can deal with this mix-up in this way.
Now I can walk
gotta get more water out of the boat.
Walk into headbutt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about the character.
Yeah, every time I feel like he's being brought down to earth, someone comes up with something new with that character, and I'm just like, Jesus, this is... And the thing about it is, because of Crush Counter Fierce, all of Crouch Fierce setups are legit.
Right. They're dependable.
They're dependable, and... If he just makes his mix-ups good enough, you will die. Like, you can't know all the setups that are going to happen. You are just going to have to guess and die. Because if you guess wrong, you will die.
Even if you know the setups, I mean, as commonly happens, I can tell you I know, like, the boxer setups. Like, I know what they are. But I'm still going to get hit with an overhead and a low sometimes.
Right,
like, it's just, mix-ups are real. And they're not all gimmicks. They're dependable in some sense, and I feel like that's the way for a lot of Urien stuff.
Right.
Even if you know the mirror setup, you know it's going to be, well, he's going to walk to the one side or the other, and I just have to guess which, ultimately. So.
Exactly.
My 4th is Rashid. I still believe in that.
Okay.
I feel like Rashid has all of the tools. When I posted that tier list, this is what I got the most words about. People thought that was surprising. I don't think it should be surprising, I guess.
know there's a lot of people who think Rashid is very, very strong.
Look, man, we were just talking with folks at ESL, some of the very strong players who were showing up there. They all thought that Rashid was up there. Like, we were like talking about who's secret top tier, and I think you were the one who brought up Rashid, right, as being secret top tier. Maybe somebody did. Anyway, somebody did. And then other people were like, that's no secret. He is a top tier character. I think that Rashid just has all the things. So, I like his buttons. He has some fantastic footsie tools. I like his ability to create zones with the fireball change that he got. I like its angle for dealing with people. I think he has good anti-airs, so there's that side of the game. His pressure is really good, safe, leads to damage, more importantly, leads to corner carry. That crush counter down fierce gets the dash up into dependable stuff, like you're talking about with Urian. And great corner carry. He has good jump-in tools. Jump-in fierce is really good. Roundhouse is good too.
Yes.
And he can mix up the timing with dive kick. So he has all these different tools. He has an invincible get-off-me tool, which is as much as anybody can ask for in this game. Everybody spends meter if they want invincibility. There's no meterless stuff right now. So he's as good defensively as anybody.
Okay.
I think, though, that probably the things that I like most about him are that he can so easily switch pace. He controls pace, I feel like, in a way that maybe only Guile does better.
Okay.
Like, he can be zoning you or playing footsies against you, and then all of a sudden dash into Mixer. Here he is. Instantly. Like, literally 20 frames later, he's right up close. And almost nobody gets that. Okay. So I just feel like... And I feel like he's the best, or one of the best, at forcing people to V reversal.
Right.
Because his pressure is sick. And that means that he doesn't have to deal with crazy comeback factor as often. Not as often does he have to deal with Boxer eating his life bar, right? Certainly it still happens, but the rate at which it happens is lower than it is for many other characters who don't force people to V reversal. So
I mean, the only thing that flies in the face of my logic is that I have Cammy at number 1. The reason why I have Laura, Urian, and Balrog at 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, and 4, is just because of that crazy comeback factor that they have. Like, you can play completely correctly, and they will still win. You know what I mean? That's why I have them up there. That's why I have Guile at 5 instead of up there with those other 3. Like I said, the only one that kind of doesn't make any sense with that is Cammy, because I feel like Cammy doesn't quite have that crazy comeback factor as well. But I just think she's just super solid. I just don't see she has any weaknesses.
Right, yeah. While she doesn't take off 80% of her life bar instantly, she has so much control. And also, by the way, really good damage.
Yeah, and gray damage threat.
Like, still really good at that stuff, just not, like, you don't need to be Boxer level to be good at that stuff.
Right.
And my 5th place is Karen.
Okay. No, that makes sense. My 6th place is Karen.
Okay.
So I think she's super good. Especially after watching guys like Punk play. So I have her at 6, and even Punk says that he thinks that Karen is broken. So... I mean, I saw him tweet that. He was
I know.
Who do you have at 7?
So my 6th is Balrog.
7th is Balrog, right?
No, I haven't said 6th yet.
Okay.
So my 6th. Well, you want to just do your back 5?
Sure. Okay. So I have Karen at 6th place, right?
Yeah.
At 7th, I have Ibuki because she has that crazy comeback factor as well, right? She's another one of those characters that you can play perfectly against, and she will just destroy you because you just never seen this bomb mix-up before. Like I said, Shine had a mix-up that he did at next level one time where he knocked someone down, and the guy gets up, and right before the bomb blows up, he does neutral jump light kick, which fuzzy guards them into the bomb, and he can land and juggle in time, which was the dirtiest thing, because you're just so worried about left, right, and all of a sudden he hits you with this fuzzy guard.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Instant overhead tech. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, this is so dirty. So I have him at 7th right now, and it's her at 7th, especially after watching Cien play.
Okay.
So now I also believe she has the solid, be able to play solid. Because I thought Ibuki only had that comeback factor, whereas like Urian, Balrog, and Laura have like amazing tools everywhere, and they have that stupid comeback factor. Ibuki, I didn't feel like she had the tools, so Ibuki kind of going up in ranks for me right now.
Makes sense.
Number 8, I still have Mika.
Okay.
I don't believe she got nerfed. I honestly just don't believe she got nerfed.
Clearly she's a little bit worse.
Yeah, but her corner is the same. Her corner hasn't changed at all. It's the exact same thing. And players are like Fudo, like NuckleDude, like Luffy are still doing amazing things. Granted, they're all like Evo Capcom Cup winning champions, and they're amazing, but I just don't see Mika being significantly worse. Like, she was almost number 1 in Season 1, and the barely nerf, I just can't see her dropping out of top 10. So I have her at number 8.
Fair enough.
I have Rashid at number 9.
Okay.
I just maybe I haven't fought enough Rashids. Maybe I haven't fought enough good Rashids.
Okay.
I understand that he's super good, and being top 10 in this game means you're really freaking good, right? But I just need to see more of it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he has crush counter damage off of the chop, and then he can run and combo. But it's like 100 and some damage. You doesn't get 300 damage, which you can convert into 500 damage if you want.
Yeah, he's not boxer.
Right. Well, I'm even talking about Urian, dude.
He's not Urian.
Yeah, Urian crush counter fierce is 300 damage for free. 320 some damage for free every single time. So.
But he does basically carry you to the corner.
Yeah, for sure.
That strong mixer is.
Yeah, it's
pretty good.
It's silly, yeah. So I have him in top 10, but he's another one of those characters that I feel like will move up as time goes on.
Okay, sure.
Number 10, I have Nikali.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
I think that's all legit. My top 5, I said Cammy, Guile, Urian, Rashid, Karen. Then after that, I'm gonna have Boxer. I'm gonna have Laura. So Boxer 6th, Laura 7th, Nikali 8th, Ibuki 9th. My Russian boy Zangief.
Wait, you said Nikali 8th? No, you had Nikali 5th.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Oh, you've switched it a little bit. Okay.
Probably a couple weeks ago at this point.
Got it. Okay.
Just looking at it for reference.
So go again, start from the top.
So...
Cammy number 1.
Right, so Cammy number 1, Guile number 2, Urian 3, Rashid 4, Karen 5, 6, Balrog, 7, Laura, 8, Nikali, 9th, Ibuki, 10th, Zangief.
So you really do think Zangief is that strong?
Yeah, I think he's a good character. I think that it's true that Mika is not that much worse. However, I think that Geef is significantly improved.
Yeah.
Mika already dealt well with the fact that people had invincible wake-up tools for meterless. Geef didn't really as well because it's not as easy for him to get in.
Right.
She cornered more easily, so if she gets blown away by wake-up regular Dragon Punch, oh well, probably get back in anyway. Not the case for Geef. But Geef is now better at doing that, but also on top of that, people don't have invincible tools until some percentage of the way into the first round. Right. So it's like reasonable, I've certainly done this, many other people have too, of playing Geef, and you basically win the first round because you get a knockdown, and the opponent just doesn't have bar yet.
Right.
And you can just prey on them in a way that you didn't get to really in the previous game. So that's a big part of it. Nikali, I think, definitely should still be up there. However, I had him at 5th in this list a couple of weeks ago, but I think that's probably too high.
Right.
I think I probably underestimated Boxer at the time, especially. Laura, I think I had her 8th on this list. I think I had her at 7. I just said 7th, right? It's not that different. Boxer is just like very strong in a consistent way. I guess I felt for a while like he needed to play crazy mix-ups, but having watched Smug more, that's just not true. And having watched PR Balrog more, those guys, Smug in particular, is so patient. I feel if you think that he wilds out as SFI Boxer, you are incorrect, friends.
Right.
He is looking for the slow stuff.
Yes.
Because that's the character, right? You just gotta hit with one of these boys.
Yep.
And boom! Or as you're walking forward, you just gotta look for this guy at the anti-air, and you're a wall. So you can play this slow game, and whenever you get a hit, it's 1,000 damage.
Yep.
And you're gonna have V-trigger at some point probably, and when you do, it's 10,000 damage.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that he's probably legit long-term kind of character. However, I think it's probably too much to say that he's top 5 because I do feel like he has some matchup concerns in which he loses to characters that are also relevant in the tiers.
Zangief, Laura.
Yeah, Geef, Laura.
Mika a little bit, right?
Yeah, maybe Mika, maybe Guile. Like, I've heard some people say Rashid also.
Okay.
You know, I don't know. We'll see how it is. But certainly he's a good character. So that's my list.
Shout outs to Reborn for the Twitch Prime subscription.
Oh, I will tell you that. If the turnaround punch tech is implemented more, that can shoot you way to the top. Yo, you're riding a firework right up to the stratosphere.
It'll be like Street Fighter 4 Zangief post SPD.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's being dragged up by his lapels. Right? Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that, what is it? You can do V skill into turnaround punch.
If they throw or something like
right,
that.
So you can do button, cancel into dash punch, V skill into turnaround punch, I think. And if you do that, then the turnaround punch part of it is invincible if you have enough charge.
Right.
And that's pretty wild because that allows things like you just blow right through mid-hitting and high-hitting attacks.
Right.
You blow through grabs. You're plus on block afterward. Yep. Whew! That's pretty solid. That's pretty real. There is indeed a vid of that.
Yeah. It's super good. It is
super good.
So, I mean, we have the same top 10, just Zangief and Mika. That's the only two that we have.
I would have Mika pretty close out of that.
Yeah.
I would have Dictator pretty close after that.
So I did have another 5. Not in any order, but if I wanted to actually put the next 5 in there, who did I have in there? I think it was Akuma that I had in there, maybe. Was it Birdie maybe in there? Bison was for sure in there. Zangief was in there. And it might have been... Wow, I forgot what it was now. Might have been Ken, maybe?
Yeah, so for me, just outside of that is definitely going to be Mika, Ken, Dictator, maybe not in order, but these characters. Mika, Ken, Dictator for sure, I think would be just outside of that. They're certainly among the strong characters who are viable at a high level.
Yeah. And, by the way, all of my tier lists exclude Colleen, because I don't know enough about her yet, because she has the ability to cover quick rise and back roll. I feel like she couldn't have the potential to become one of the strongest characters in the game. Like, I think she could break top 10. I think she could potentially break top 5 if that works out well. You know, obviously the damage is not there and stuff like that, but you know, I think it's super good.
I'm not sure I would have Akuma in that list of characters just outside of that top 10. I'm not sure about that. Maybe.
I know.
Maybe, but I remain to be convinced. I'm open to being convinced.
Yeah, I just know he does a lot of damage. I just know he just does a lot of damage, so.
Yeah. Bottom 5.
Bottom 5? Okay, let me look through here. I haven't done a bottom 5 list. Probably Alex, Chun-Li, Feng, Ryu, and Nash probably is probably my bottom 5, yeah.
Oh, I would have Birdie in that list of characters just outside of the top 10.
Okay, yeah, I have him in there too as well.
Bottom 5. All right, Alex Fang.
Okay, Alex Fang.
Switch that. Fang Alex. Fang is the absolute butt. I don't think he's actually terrible, but I do think in the context of this game that he's down there at the lower end of the column.
I forgot to mention Jury.
I wouldn't have her bottom 5 or top 10 or just outside of top 10, honestly.
Let me think about that again, but continue with yours.
Okay. Who did I say? Fang, Alex. I guess Ryu. I feel like that's silly, but I guess Ryu.
I think Ryu's the worst character in the game.
Boy, really?
Yeah.
Dang, you think he's well? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's pretty terrible.
Yikes. Okay, well, bottom 5. Then I think I'm just not sure about Chun, dude. I feel like she's clearly not strong, but is she bottom 5? I don't know. How many characters in this game? 20-something?
Mm-hmm. I would probably move Alex out of my list and put Jury in there over Alex.
Really?
Yeah, I actually think Alex isn't as weak as a lot of people.
You think Jury is not good at all?
I don't know. I just haven't seen it yet. I haven't been convinced yet. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I need to go and watch some of these infiltration matches to see how it goes. You
Honestly, man, I watched that and I came away thinking, man, Infiltration is a good player.
I mean,
and
look,
his opponents don't really know that character.
Don't forget, I was just bodied like 20 games in a row by a Jury player, but I'm still not convinced.
Were you?
Yeah, at Houston in Arcade UFO.
Oh, that's true. I saw some of that.
That Jury was just destroying me because I was like, why can't I footsies this person?
I remember.
Yeah, it was very weird. It's very weird. But then again, I don't know anything about Jury, and I didn't know what was plus. I didn't know what was punishable. Yeah. I was like, holy crap, I need to research this character a little bit more.
I don't think that she's that great. So, bottom 5. Alex and Fang, and Ryu, and Chun-Li, and Vega.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Vega. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Vega's very good. You know what's funny is, I don't know if you saw this on the Facebooks, but Arlieth was talking about Vega.
Mm-hmm.
Good Vega player. And so I asked him, hey man, do you think Vega is weak? What do you think about this character? And he wrote a reply that was like, I don't think Vega's weak. Here are the ways he struggles. He struggles in defense. He doesn't have great offense. It's only okay. His neutral game is only okay. His escape options are the worst in the game. He's not that bad. And I was like, what was this post? What is this about? I don't understand.
Shout outs to Moto Just, by the way, for the subscription via Twitch Prime.
I was like, what does that mean to me?
Right.
So if that's the best defense, then I'm not bullish on the character.
Right,
I gotta tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I know if you talk to Flash, he'll tell you that Vega is like garbology.
He does think
tier,
that.
Yeah.
I know that Donka thinks that also.
Yeah. I definitely don't think Dawson is bottom 5. I don't think he's...
I don't think Dawson's bottom 5 either. I don't think he's particularly strong. I don't think I'd have him just outside of that top 10, but I don't think that he's bad. He just gets ripped open by a few of the cast, but not that bad overall.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. Someone mentioned, tournament viability, because remember we were talking about Chun-Li. So someone asks who the tournament viable characters are. I mean, to be honest with you, anybody in my top 10 is tournament viable.
Of course.
Maybe even in my top 15, I would think is tournament viable.
I definitely agree.
I mean, I have Birdie in my top 15. Mena RD just won that.
Fang was second place.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't gone through the results of that. I guess we should do that. But right, so the first CPT event in Latin America occurred last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was in the Dominican Republic. Game Over was the event. Very fun to watch. Shout outs to the dude who did solo commentary, whose name escapes me, but it's really fun for me to listen to.
Okay.
I used to speak Spanish, or at least understand it. Not really anymore. But it's cool in the same way that I like watching or listening to Ken Bogard, whose language I used to speak and can't really now. It's like a way to remember every fourth word. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
okay, I'm trying to figure it out. But very, very cool to listen to.
Right.
So, you want to go over the top 8 there in Street Fighter 5?
Top 8, in 7th place was Crossover with Mika and Joker with Nakali. 5th place was Flash with Urian and DRA with Vega and Ibuki. Ooh, he's using Ibuki now, huh? Interesting. 4th place was Joki Focus with Urian and Guile. Hochi Focus with Urian and Guile. 3rd place was Gam Kaba with Guile and Ryu. I wonder how he's doing with Ryu now.
He only, as far as I saw on stream, only went to Ryu once or twice.
Okay.
And it was only in moments of kind of desperation.
Yeah, okay, that seems about right.
Yeah. His guy was legit, though.
2nd place was ESPR Mono, of course, with Fang. And then 1st place, MGK Mena RD with Birdie and Laura.
Mostly Birdie, a little bit.
Mostly Birdie. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. Birdie's definitely strong. And, I asked Mena RD on Twitter what he thought about Birdie and his matchups, and he says that Birdie, he thought, only lost to 3 characters. Mm-hmm. He thinks that the character is good. I gotta be honest, I have no idea. Just to be perfectly frank, I haven't played against a strong Birdie in Season 2. I haven't seen a strong Birdie in Season 2. I haven't seen people talk about Birdie in Season 2. I have no idea. I can tell you what the changes he got were, but how does that work in practice? I don't know, man. And then Problem X wins the tournament with Birdie, and then RD wins the tournament with Birdie, and there was somebody else who did some good work too.
Well, Problem
Maybe
X,
he's great. I don't know.
Well, so Problem X said that he thinks Birdie is super good, right? And then it was interesting because I saw in the season patch notes that they're making it so EX Headbutt is not safe again, but not as bad as it was before. It's like -4, -5 now, but it's first frame armor again. And I remember after seeing that, Alucard was like, Birdie is back, baby. So, I guess that's really important to him.
That first frame armor, I think, is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but watching Mena was really, really good.
Yeah.
That Fang for Mono is a tricky one. Because keep in mind, when he's playing in this tournament, it's not like he went to some other part of the world where they don't have a Fang. He's playing against Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and people who he plays with online
These are good people. All those
are very strong players.
Are like super strong.
DRA didn't even make that high, and that dude like beat Tokido recently. And if you saw First Attack last year, the level of play is very clear. Very good players, obviously.
And we had
DRA 5th.
We had a U.S. player there. Flash went there and he got 5th place. So.
Yeah, and the crowd was happy when the territory was defended. Mm-hmm. Anyway, he's not playing against people who don't know Fang, is what I'm getting at. It's not like he's going somewhere where the mix-ups are all new. Right. They know him because they play against Mono. So he's beating people in like a consistent way. But I really feel that if Mono played a real strong character, that he would like be
Dude, why
one of those international super strong threats.
Well, he should be using M. Bison right now.
He does use M. Bison.
Right. That's like he should main this character now. The character's good enough to do well. But
I told him that, and I tweeted that too. And a couple of dudes from PR were like, yeah, we tell him that a lot. So I hope that happens because I think he is extremely good. Extremely talented player. I really think that he would be like really one of those international top people you talk about when it's like, who's going to do well at Capcom Cup this year? All right, there's a list of players. I think he's like that level.
Right.
To be honest.
Yeah. Also, is there anything else you want to say about the Game Over tournament?
Like I said, first one of the year in Latin America, CPT, and it seemed to run really well. Very strong region.
Cool. I do want to give a shout out to a Prinny Dude on Twitter. He's told me about Bavaria Burst that took place in Munich, Germany in the past, which was a European tournament designed for anime games.
Oh, cool.
Right. So he also sent me a message with results from that tournament over there. So he said that he got the results. Now, obviously, not a lot of the strongest players are going to this. There's got a lot of unknown names and everything like that. But he said that Blaze Blue and Skullgirls were both stacked with the best European players.
Cool.
Yeah, and then they were like considered like the best player of those characters at those events and everything like that. So, for example, in Guilty Gear Revelator, 7th place was Filzer with May and Gunframe Onbi with Soul. 5th place was Mick with Ramlethal and Martin with Kai. 4th place, VDV Owner with Potemkin. 3rd place, PRK with Zato1 and Chip. 2nd place, PETA with Axel. And 1st place, VDV King Rasta with Faust. Again, these are names that you're probably not familiar with, but, these are probably people to keep track of.
I'm glad to hear it, yeah.
In Blaze Blue, 7th place was Maho Shoujo with Bang. I almost called it Bong.
Yeah.
Because of Fang, yeah. K with Bullet. 5th place was G's with Jin, and 5th place was VDV Owner with Tsubaki. 4th place, Crushing Eagle with Izayoi. 3rd place, Dark RTB1 with Azriel. 2nd place, Fish with Hakumen and Hibiki. And 1st place, Mick with 9.
Cool.
Under Night Inbirth, 4th place was Dark RTB1 with Gordeau. 3rd, Crushing Eagle with Hyde. 2nd place, Blank Face with Byakuya. And 1st place, Neophos with Gordeau.
All right.
And Skullgirls here, 4th place was Big Band Pro 69 with Beowulf and Big Band.
Sick. What a cool team.
3rd place was Sanji with Beowulf, Peacock, and Big Band.
Yeah.
2nd place is Silly Old Dragon with Valentine and Philia. 1st place is Mr. Peck with Peacock and Robo Fortune.
Oh, okay.
Robo Fortune.
Cool, man.
And it looks like they had a Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 tournament there as well. 4th place was Healing Care. 3rd place, VDV Chargy, or Chargy maybe. Wolverine Spencer Sentinel. 2nd place, Ben Kill with Chris Hager Akuma. 1st place, Budget Player Cadet with Nova, Doom, and Virgil. Okay. And in KOF 14, 4th place, Healing Care. 3rd place, NFB Sinjul. 2nd place, Fitizen. 1st place, Dracula with Iori Benimaru and Robert.
Okay.
So there you go.
Always cool to hear about results from around the world.
Yeah, shout outs again to Prinny Dude for giving me that information. He's been doing a lot to promote that tournament and everything like that. So,
what was the name of it again?
Bavaria Burst. So yeah, definitely keep that in mind if you are in Europe and you want to get into the anime scene. It sounds like it was a pretty big tournament, pretty successful. Keep it in mind for next year, or if they throw another event anytime coming soon.
Cool. That, I imagine, is in Bavaria. in Germany.
Well, they said it was in Munich, Germany.
Oh, in Munich. Oh, yeah.
Munich, Germany. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. Do you want to take a break? And when we come back, we can just go through random gaming
other news and
stuff
whatnot.
like that. Yeah. Okay. Be right back, guys. Be right back. How long is it going to take?